Welcome guys to another video here on the Man United Daily YouTube channel, and in this one I'll be talking about my opinions about how United and Louis van Gaal especially is going to integrate all the superstars that we have bought during the last transfer window, as well as the talent that we already had within the squad itself. So it's going to be a good problem to have for Louis van Gaal and all of us United fans, because we're all going to be very excited to see how United is going to line up against QP on the 14th, I believe, of September, and see how Louis van Gaal has managed to basically stuffed all these superstars into one team. And obviously the main talking point is whether Louis van Gaal is going to stick with the same 3-5-2 formation as he did and used successfully during the World Cup with Holland, or he's going to revert back to a kind of like 4-3-3, which he has tried and love, and that is totally in line with the Dutch total football philosophy. And Louis van Gaal is a known admirer of the 4-3-3. That is his main go-to formation. It's just because of the loss and the lack of ability in the centre of the park that he believes that some teams like United and last Netherlands squad needed to change of formation. So just basically making assumptions that he is now kind of like perfectly happy with the squad. The first sort of like lineup I'm gonna do is kind of like an interesting one. It's a diamond shape, but you can also argue that it could be explained as a 4-3-3 in some sort of way as well. So here's the team that I've got going for the first lineup in this 4 diamond sort of like formation. David De Gea in goal, and there's no surprise in that. I don't think there's anyone close to him in that for that #1 spot. For the right back, I've gone for Rafael, simply because I believe that when he's fit and firing, I think that overall he is a better defensive player than Valencia, who has been excellent as well. But Rafael gets my vote. Jones and Evans, simply because I do believe John Evans has been made of a scapegoat because of a few sloppy passes. He's not fully fit, but over the past few years, Johnny Evans has really proved himself to be a really top defender. And from what you read on Twitter, from the Portuguese reporters, they say that Rojo is not the best in terms of a two-man defense, and in a free it could work out a lot better. So that would be an indication perhaps to where and why Louis van Gaal might persist in the 3 at the back instead. But for this 4 at the back, I'm going to go for Rafael, Jones, Evans, like I said, and Luke Shaw, who I think is a fantastic player and will be a top addition to the squad when he's back and fit. So that is my back 4. I think that's a very solid back 4 personally. In the midfield diamond, at the bottom of the diamond, I got Daley Blind as the holding midfield player, and he can move right or left to cover both of the fullbacks, so he's going to be bombing on obviously to provide that extra bit of width. Just ahead of him, I have Angel Di Maria onto the left and Ander Herrera to the right. So that would provide a lot of nous and a bit of creative spark in the central midfield. But also, more importantly, they provide a lot of legs in that centre of the park, where they can run past people, give the give and go. And so I think that's a really good combination. And just ahead of them in the number 10 role, if you like, is Wayne Rooney, who has the freedom to roam right, left, centre, really, to create as much damage as he can. And obviously we all know about Rooney's work rate. He will track back for the team and is willing to do the the hard bit as well. So Rooney, I think, in that true number 10 role could be a beneficial effect on the midfield, because sometimes we do need a bit of presence in there. And so if Rooney drops back when we are a bit outnumbered, then hopefully we will get that advantage back. So I think Rooney always going to be involved in number 10 role. He likes there before, so there's no reason why he can't relish that role once again. And obviously at the top, Radamel Falcao and Robin van Persie. It's still weird for me to say that Radamel Falcao's name, but you simply have to get them in there somewhere, because they're true world-class strikers, were 2 of the best in the world. So you just have to shove them in there somewhere. Obviously with the departure of Danny Welbeck and Chicharito, it's going to make a lot more kind of like interesting to see how they both hold up in terms of injuries front. James Wilson has been now kind of like promoted into the first team as a fourth choice. That explains why Danny Welbeck had asked to leave, because he was demoted to fifth choice. So James Wilson obviously very highly thought of, but Falcao, Van Persie, you can't really argue much with that combination right now. Hopefully, you know, it'll be a wonderful thing to watch, because if you look at that team once again, I think it's quite a balanced team. You could argue that Daley Blind is not kind of like the most physical of holding midfielders, but again, he's clever enough and is tactically aware enough to just provide like a Michael Carrick role, where all he has to do is just shield the back four from side to side, rather than having that massive physical presence where, you know, it will be, you know, a bit better and a bit more a complete player of a holding midfield, I believe, in a modern game, to be physically dominant as well. But Daley Blind knows the philosophy of Louis van Gaal, and I think have the brain and intelligence to play that role really well, and he's proved that in the past as well. So what do you guys make of this diamond formation I've done? Would you guys put Rojo, or would you guys, you know, put someone else instead of Blind? You would put Darren Fletcher in there or something like that. So once again, guys, do give me your opinions and comments below, and you know, we'll have a good discussion about this one. So the second formation I've opted for, and it's the formation that we're going to get used to, I think, in the past or in the next few months again, is the 3-5-2 formation that Louis van Gaal has opted for, and it's the change of philosophy at United. So again, in goal, David De Gea, no questions about that. And for the three at the back, I put Jones, Evans and Rojo. And like I mentioned earlier, Rojo probably would not be my first choice centre-back if there was a 2, but in a 3, because you have that insurance policy with the third centre-back, one of the centre-back, or one or two at times from either side, has to take the ball out of the fence and create that more kind of like injection of quality into the centre of the park. So Jones and Rojo will be more than capable of doing that job. Rojo usually a left back, and he played last night for Argentina. You know, looked very composed and very good on the ball. So Rojo, no problem as taking the ball out of the fence and, you know, starting an attack with that. So that 3-man will give a lot of balance. Obviously, Tyler Blackett, massive shout out for him, because I think he's a fantastic prospect. 20 years of age, so plenty of time for him to go yet. But Rojo, I think, because he's just been bought for that money, international, you have to play him really. But Blackett, again, if Rojo again got injured or something like that, Blackett can easily fall in it, you know, slot in, and I wouldn't have a problem at all with that. As a right wing back, I opted for Rafael again, but again, like, it's very hard to choose between him and Antonio Valencia, who's made a fantastic start to this season. Obviously, some of his crosses are a bit kind of like predictable and a bit rash, but Valencia has proven himself over the past that he is, you know, a very, very good winger, and obviously in this new right wing back role, he has done tremendously well, both in attacking sense and also defensive way. So Valencia and Rafael very close to choose when they're both fit. And next to Rafael, I opted for Di Maria. Again, he showed that he is adaptable. Showed that at Burnley, and I thought he had a very, very good game. Obviously, with the greater amount of time he's going to spend with the United squad, the more they're going to get used to his style of play, the 1-2 clever 1-2s, and also his, you know, monster runs in the central park that could create panic for the other teams midfield and also defence. Di Maria, definitely an asset wherever he plays really. So I opted for Di Maria. Obviously he can change to the left or the right. Daley Blind I put right next to him, and he's going to play almost this shielding role again. He's going to have his occasional one forward, but his main point is just hold his position in front of that back three to provide much needed solidity and, you know, stop this kind of like porous defence that we have at the minute. So Daley Blind, like I said, buys into the Louis van Gaal philosophy, knows it, tactically very aware, so he's going to have no problem adjusting to that defensive role as he's played it many times in the past before. As the left wing back, I opted for Luke Shaw, no questions asked. I mean, Rojo on occasion will probably play that. Ashley Young as well. Ashley Young annoys me so much. I mean, I'll be the first one to hold my hand up and say that he had a very, very good pre-season. But once the season started, he's reverted to type, you know, where he's not even taking on players. He's just cutting back on his right foot and just plays it inside. So in this sort of 3-5-2 system, I have to stress that the wing backs are so important because they stretch the whole pitch out. They create the spaces for the players in the central positions to create that sort of magic play. So that is one thing that I think it will definitely improve when Luke Shaw's come back. Hopefully it will be a game against QPR. But yeah, Luke Shaw, no matter how well he's on form wise, I think he will be an automatic starter when he's back and fit and firing. And just ahead of that midfield is Wayne Rooney again in number 10, where he's have the free license to roam. Obviously, at times he will need to drop back and form a midfield three with Blin, Di Maria, and himself to just create that numbers if we are going to play against a team who's deploying, 4-3-3 in the Central Park. So that's a flexible system. And at the top, no need to say no more about Falcao and Van Persie, both world-class strikers. It will be interesting to see how they team up. I mean, Falcao, predominantly in his career, he has worked by himself, where he's the true number 9, and the team kind of works towards him. Van Persie is a bit more adaptable. Obviously, in the summer he played with Arjen Robben in that 3-5-2 system at the very top. Obviously, him and Rooney hasn't really hit as much as we wanted to. But they showed moments of quality between them, and that's what you're going to get when you have a lot of quality players in your team. And I think we do have a lot of qualities in this team right now. Obviously, the one downside, I guess, is perhaps the lack of English players. Right now, we only got 3 in there, but you can easily slot Smalling, Blackett, etc. Back into that side. And also, just a quick note about that sort of like philosophy and the moral standpoint of United selling young academy players. Also, I think we're all a bit upset that Danny Welbeck has left, but I don't think we lost our identity, because it's just a reaction because of how far we have fallen behind in terms of our rivals. And if you're good enough, then you're obviously going to be into Louis van Gaal's plans. I mean, look at James Wilson, he's only 18, and Louis van Gaal obviously identifies something in him that Louis van Gaal trusts him and has promoted him above the pecking order in terms of Danny Welbeck as well. So I don't buy into this derision that Louis van Gaal has abandoned the United philosophy. I mean, he's given the first team debut to Reece James, Tyler Blackett, Jesse Lingard. He's played Nick Powell, so he played Michael Keane. So there's a lot of positives in terms of this new management system. So I don't think that's a kind of like doubt that United fans have to fear in terms of Louis van Gaal changing the whole philosophy. It's just, if you're good enough and you have the necessary quality to fit into a profile of Louis van Gaal's liking, then you're going to play no matter what. So I think it's just if you're just, the quality isn't there from some of the younger players. So yeah, I just quick comment. I just want to talk and just put all that rubbish to bed, really. I just want to give a quick shout out to reddevilfans.com, which is a new forum site for United fans where you can discuss anything surrounding United, from transfer targets to the latest training kit. In order to join the website, all you have to do is go over there, sign up with an email address and a username of your choice, and then you can start having debates and discussion with other United fans. So again, to check them out, go over to reddevilfans.com. That wraps up another video here on the Man United Daily YouTube channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment below on any of the stories mentioned, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And also, if you want to keep to be updated with the latest videos, please subscribe to the channel for more content. You can check me out as well on Twitter at Man United Daily, or visit the website at manuniteddaily.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.